everybody. Hi, it's Becky from powertoolswiththread.com. That's my blog. We're almost at the end of 2020. Pretty excited about that. I feel like I'm falling off this chair. This is that new drafting chair I bought to sit at Spanky. I roll it back and forth between here and the machine. I'm probably going to have to get another one when I move into the new room because this will be a dedicated chair for Spanky. For those of you that are my new subscribers, hi, welcome. Spanky's my 10 needle. He got that name because when I first bought him, and I put a picture of him on the Power Tools with Thread Facebook group, somebody had put one of those GIFs that, you know, those are those little animated pictures, and it had Spanky from the Little Rascals, and he was going, wow! And that machine's kind of wow. So I named him Spanky. And then that kind of started a whole Our Gang naming convention around the entire room. So my luminaire is Darla because she's pretty. And the Elegante 2 is Porky. And my brother PQ 1500, my piecing machine, is Butch because that's a pretty tough machine. And then of course the King Quilter is Alfalfa, my long arm. I know y'all wanted to know about that, so I don't know why I went there. I wanted to make this video when my husband was wandering around in the house, and you guys have heard him before. He talks to the dog, and he's, you know, he's a happy guy, right? And so I needed quiet to make the video, so I stood there in the kitchen just now going, I'm pointing because I'm in an outside room, and my dining room is right on the other side of this window right here. This is an old back patio. And so I was looking at him and I said, I had something for you to do. Here's my dog. So when I did that, he was gone. He was like outside. Hello, Harley. Harley's my three-legged tripod. She's a sweetheart. She is going to be 11 next month in January. Aren't you, old girl? Yeah. There goes her tail. Yep. She got hit by a truck when she was a puppy, so we took her to the vet, and then she had her knee replaced last year. She's my $1 million dog. Anyway, okay, I had stuff I wanted to talk to you about. So the other day, my Keurig coffee maker died. I had one of those big fancy ones. It had the water tank on the side, and it had a computer in it and all this other stuff, and I've had that machine maybe about 3 or 4 years. I'll tell you what, I'm so glad it's gone. It made me lie to it. I would say, it's time to descale. And I'm like, really? I hate that. And so I'd hit continue and it would say, did you descale? Well, now I have to lie to the machine and hit yes. Thinking I'll get to it later, you know. Anyway, that machine always made me feel bad. So I got another Keurig, but it's the less computerized one. It's just your bare bones $50 Keurig you get at Walmart. And I really like it. It just has a little water container in the back, and it doesn't have any digital readouts on it at all. It's just press the button and it goes. And so it's a lot simpler. I like that. Those of you that have been watching me for a while, back in, I think it was like October of 19, I had told y'all that I started buying those little reusable pods with your own coffee, and because they had come out with the little paper filters to go in those things, because cleaning them out without the filter is just a nightmare. And then they make a little scoop for it that you can scoop your own coffee in. Anyway, so I have like 3 cups a day. To this day, since then, I have not used any of the little plastic containers. And I'm just so proud of myself because that's 3 a day times, I don't know, what, 14 months? How much plastic have I not used? I love that. I'm not a big, you know, bunny hugger type thing, but I'm not a fan of single-use plastics. Plus all the money I've saved. That way I can buy more fabric. So the last post and video that I did, I had given y'all a free sewing machine SVG. It was inside of a Word document. If you downloaded that Word document thinking you'd get to it later, it doesn't work. I had a lot of people say that they couldn't get to the files that were embedded in the Word document. You know, those pesky little security programs that we have on our computers wouldn't allow it as an embedded SVG file. And so I went in YouTube University and I'm like, how do I, because my WordPress platform for my blog, powertoolswiththread.com, would not allow me to upload SVG files to my blog. I can upload images, but not certain file types. I can do Word documents, PDFs, and then, you know, JPEGs and that kind of thing for pictures. But I couldn't do SVG files. I couldn't put them on a blog post. So I go to YouTube University. That's just YouTube, you guys. That's what I call it, YouTube, because you can learn anything on YouTube. So I did the search, how to embed or how to upload SVG to WordPress, because WordPress is my platform for my blog. And I found a couple of good videos on how to do it. And there's a thing in WordPress called a widget. And what a widget is it's a little script. And you can just apply that widget to your blog and it will work, right? So, okay. So I go to the widget to apply that widget to my blog, and no, you don't have the right plan of WordPress, because I was using the $99 a year plan for my blog. So it says if you want to use this widget, it's going to be an additional $200 or $300 to upgrade to the business plan package to apply that widget to your blog post. And I was like, ugh, really? Because I love y'all so much, and because I will probably make more SVGs. And for those of you who wanted to know, I used GIMP to make the SVG. So if you want to know how to do that, go to YouTube University, no, just YouTube, and type in use GIMP to make SVG. And there's a ton of videos out there. I'm not going to show you how to do that because that's not my thing. But anyway, so I went ahead and did that. Yes, to the person who mentioned it, it is a business expense, but still, I need a new blog theme. It'll give it a new look and feel and all that, but I just haven't gone there. You know, there's so many things I need to do with the channel, because we're over 21,000 subscribers now. Thank you all very much. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And also, if you are not a member of our Facebook group, we're over 5,000 members in the Facebook group now, Power Tools with Thread Facebook group. Just a bunch of quilters, machine embroiderers. And I want to thank all of you who are members of our Facebook group. You're kind of like the unofficial, official welcoming committee, because so many people go, hi, this is my first post, thanks for the ad, blah, blah, blah. And I try to get on there like at least once a day. But, you know, you can go down a Facebook rabbit hole and never come out, right? And so I so appreciate my moderators, Lisa, Joan, and Katie. They also help me do approvals of member requests. So thank you, ladies, very much. Could not do this without you. Literally could not do this without you. And then my unofficial, official welcoming committee, ladies. You guys know who you are. People say, hi, welcome from Indiana. Hi, welcome from West Texas. Hi, welcome from Hawaii. I think that's just fabulous. So I also really want to thank all of you for, and I shouldn't have to, but I'm going to, for how nice everyone is. I have heard so many times people say, I asked this same question on another Facebook page and they were snarky or they were mean or whatever. I hear a chainsaw. Is my husband cutting down that limb I've been after him to do for a couple of weeks? We had this big long limb that had finally grown over the edge of my swimming pool railing around the deck. And you know, you get the leaf net and you're trying to get it out and the big pole hits it all the time. Ugh, hate that. I think he's cutting the whole tree down. Ooh. Don't fear. I have 70 trees in my backyard. It's fine. Okay, so I thanked everybody for Facebook support. You guys, really, from the bottom of my heart. It's wonderful. People come on there and they show us their projects they're making. And I'm kind of in the know because I pay attention to these things. of sales that are going on, specials. You know, anytime there's something cool happening in our quilting or embroidery world that interests me, because it's my channel, I will go ahead and put it out there on the Facebook page. That's also, if I do a giveaway, I will announce it on the Facebook page. So if you're not a member so I put it on my blog and I put it on my Facebook page. If I do a giveaway, then I'll say, well, here's the winner. And if you are a member of the Facebook page, I will tag you. If you don't have a Facebook account and you don't want to do that, just go ahead over to powertoolswiththread.com and subscribe to my blog, because I will also I create a blog post of the winner. Can you hear my husband? He knows I'm making a video. I hope not. Maybe it won't be too bad. But I will also do screen captures of how I chose the winner, so everybody knows it's fair and square and that kind of thing, because I just use a YouTube comment picker whenever I do that. All right, what else is going on? So I had told you guys that Pat mentioned in her video yesterday, or was it this morning? Keith wanted to send her one of his seam rippers that he makes. And so we sent it to her and she showed it on her blog. Thank you, Pat. Those of you that are embroiderers and you're thinking about branching into the quilting world, I recommend that you go and look at Pat Sloan. She has a Facebook group. It's SLOAN. She has a Facebook group. She has a YouTube channel. She does Instagram. She does all of those things. She has a blog, and she's an author. So she makes she has a lot of books, quilting books, and some of them are really good for beginners. She is a fabric designer for Moda, I think, I'm not sure. And so I believe so. And so she'll let you know about new fabric things that are coming out. And then there are companies that will work with her to give a deal to her viewers. And she will let you know also of things that are, sales going on and that kind of thing. So highly recommend you check her out. And she has a daily video she does that's like, 8 to 10 minutes. And then Monday night she does her fireside chat, and it's usually 25 or 30 minutes. But she just kind of gives you a good immersion into the whole world of quilting. So if you're even interested in it, you might check her out. She's just a wealth of information. So let's see what else. Anyway, Pat had challenged herself to get rid of all of her, what they call across the pond, they call them flimsies, which is just a quilt top that's not been made into a quilt sandwich and gone on the long arm yet. And so I kind of took up that challenge myself. I'm looking at my quilt rack behind me and it's almost empty. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tops left on it. Not bad. I gave my stepmom a Stepping Stones quilt for Christmas. And then Social Climber is off the long arm. So I got that done. And because of the angles in the pattern in the blocks, and this was my jelly roll quilt that Pat talks about. Because of the angles in the blocks, I used a really pretty little feather. I don't know if you can see it because it's so busy. Can you see the quilting? I'll hold real still. And it's a group of feathers to kind of soften it a little bit. Here is the back. And this is the first time, this was a new thing for me. I was very excited about this. And I know a lot of you professional long armers know how to do this, but I put the binding on while it was on the long arm. It was awesome. So you just attach it to the top instead of, buckling and quilt wrangling over there on the little machine. I just stitched it to the top, and then I cut it. I trimmed the quilt out of the backing and everything while it was still on the long arm. It was so easy. Couldn't believe it. I should have done this part of it too. Didn't occur to me until after I'd trimmed it off on the longer. I haven't tried that part yet because it will only take a minute to do this part on the machine. And then, you know, iron it and flip it over and stitch it down. So I'm glad to have it done. It's kind of cool. Okay, so that's done. I've made myself notes so I don't forget to tell you guys something, because I don't think I'm going to be back before the new year. We leave for the coast tomorrow, and we'll be gone until that Sunday after the 1st. I think the 1st is on Friday. New Year's Day is Friday, right? Yes. So Saturday's the 2nd, Sunday's the 3rd. We'll be back late Sunday on the 3rd. So if anybody makes any orders for seam rippers and whatnot, anything out of the powertoolswiththread.com, we will ship it out on Monday, just so you know. Y'all may remember in the Creative Notions bag, what did I do with that? One of the fabric lines we got in the Creative Notions bag this year was the like the red trucks with the barns and the quilts and that kind of thing. Well, that same line, it didn't come in the bag, but it's Holiday Heartland for Henry Glass and Company, for Henry Glass Fabrics. And there was a panel that was part of that line. My husband's on the tractor. He must have cut that tree down. He's going to pick up all the pieces he cut and throw them in the bucket. So part of that line was a panel that they had that was an advent calendar. And I think I saw this on Pat's channel, and I just really like it. So I went ahead and ordered this because it's not part of the Creative Notions, but it is part of that fabric line. So where they have all of the advent calendar pieces, of course it came in after Christmas. I wasn't going to get it done, but maybe for next year. So here are all your advent pieces. And then it gives you instructions on how to do it up. So that's very cool. Yeah. So here are these are your advent calendar pockets. There they are. And so you have to back them and everything, and there's lines to cut and whatnot, and then you will stitch them onto these, and then you'll have your little advent calendar. So I don't have an advent calendar. I think this will be cute to hang in my room on Christmas, don't you guys? In the Christmas season, in my sewing room. And then each little one, I don't know, spool of thread or a bobbin or a seam ripper or something. Put something in there. Oh my goodness, so much to do, All right. So I retired from the Air Force Civil Service back in August. My husband retired last April. Just today, we went through the boxes and bags of stuff that we both brought home with us from work. And my husband does not do that. He doesn't like getting rid of anything at all. He gets like emotionally attached to, you know, a pen cup or something. And I have been on this whole minimalism thing as far as, you know, if I forgot I had it, it doesn't apply to fabric. Okay, let me throw that out there right now. You know, if I forgot that I had it, if I'm going through a cabinet in my kitchen or I haven't used it in years, I don't need the extra inventory, and so I gotten rid of it. So I have been, you know, dropping the hint for the last several weeks. We really need to go through everything you brought home from work. And me too, I had my bucket there as well. And I pretty much just took the whole thing and dumped it all. There wasn't a thing in there that I wanted. Oh, there was one thing. I'm going to show you. I wanted to show it to you before I threw it away. I'm going to throw it away. You guys know what this says? Lisa knows what this is. Lisa used to work upstairs. You computer nerds, you know what this is? This is a hard drive. It was the first hard drive. I used to be a cybersecurity analyst, and it was the first hard drive that I ever confiscated from a computer and took it and had it shredded. Oh man, look at that. I had it sitting on my desk as kind of a badge of honor. My office literally had this giant box that was what is the equivalent of a garbage disposal for hard drives. And so you would drop hard drives as a rule are like square. They're like so big from the desktops, not a laptop, but they're so big and they're like that thick, and you drop it in there and turn it on and it would make all kind of racket. And then everything sped out into a drawer, and you open the drawer and it's a gazillion little pieces. This is one of the larger pieces. So I kept that on my desk as a badge of honor as a security analyst. I don't need it now, so I'm just going to throw it away. But I wanted to show you guys that. It's just stuff like that. Why? Anyway, so I have a note on here. Do you set an alarm to wake up if you're retired? Because I was talking about retirement. And I still do. I set my alarm for 7:15. I used to get up at dark 30. But, it's just, I feel like if I get up after 8 o'clock, the day is half gone. I already talked about that. I have notes. As I was doing my face, Jason, my repair guy, he's working somewhere, and he just texted me. He said, "This lady was ahead of her time with these buttons. That slogan seems familiar." She has a button, and it's got a sewing machine, and it says the ultimate power tool. He's so funny. I like Jason. He's a good guy. I received a bunch of Christmas cards from you and gifts and things like that, and I shot the video right here. So let me show you my Christmas haul for Power Tools Wise. Joy, my quilty buddy Joy up in Oklahoma. Joy Bernhardt. If you guys don't watch her, you should. She does a lot of garment sewing, some quilting, some embroidery. She's like me, but she's more garment sewing. She sent me a jelly roll. What do I always say? I need a jelly roll like a hole in the head? Doesn't matter. I'll use it. Thank you, Joy. I absolutely love it. And she also made me this beautiful Christmas apron. Look at that. This is metallic thread. Isn't that a gorgeous pattern? It's beautiful. I love it. Well, the thing I like about this is gelato from Maywood Studio. And the reason I like this is because they're solids, which is nice. So, sorry for the glare. Hey, I'm going to get new lighting when I move into my new room. This ring light is annoying, so I'm going to get new lighting. That's coming. So I got all your Christmas cards. I want to thank Darlene. Yes, Darlene. I got sweet notes from all of you. And Jan stitched me a mermaid bookmark. How cool is that? I'll hold it up and hold it still so you guys can take a look at it. And beautiful letter. She wrote the nicest thing. She says, she got an embroidery machine, right? She says, "I've been busy learning by doing ever since, and I'm not intimidated by the machine because I've seen you make mistakes and recover. I've broken the needle, no panic. Had a spectacular bird's nest that made me get out the manual and a screwdriver and dismantle the bobbin area, no panic. And many less dramatic problems, no panic, all learning experiences and good fun." So she appreciates it that I share my mistakes. And y'all, I hear that all the time. You see these channels where these people just whiz through stuff and they make it just perfect and everything turns out right. That does you no good when you're trying to make something yourself and something goes goofy. And now you've got to figure out what to do to fix it. And heaven forbid, it turns into a trash, goes into the trash. That's not good. So you can always fix embroidery, no big deal. And here's my beautiful card from Joy. And this is a lovely card this is the card from Jan, the lady who made the mermaid and wrote the nice letter. Here's a sweet card I got from Ellen. Very nice. I love little patchwork birdhouses. Isn't that cute? And a nice one from Cynthia. She loves her shirt and her seam ripper. Thank you. And another one from Julia. How nice. You guys, these cards, just love them. This one is from Sherry. I had shown y'all this one in my last video. And then last but not least, sulky. Oh, that's like getting a card from my insurance agent. Oh my goodness. You guys, these cards from y'all mean more to me than, you know, the ones I get from family, because you guys, you know, go to the effort to take pen to paper and slap a stamp on it and send it to me and tell me what you're working on and your warmest wishes and all that kind of stuff. So I really, really appreciate it. Keith liked it too. I read him all the cards. So any of y'all that mention Keith, he just gets all puffed up and he's all happy. I just had to run over to the UPS store here in my town. I got an email or two from them telling me I had packages to pick up. I just love that store. They are so much better than the Postal Service. So much better. No, I called over there because I wanted to print these instructions, full color instructions for the Dachshund tote bag. We're going to do this project from Sweet Pea. This is going to be a sew along from January 5th through the end of the first week of January. So I wanted to have a pretty printed color so that, you know, I can show you guys what it is to do, what it's supposed to look like and all that. 20 bucks. It's fine. But it's so nice because I called over to the store and she's like, UPS, this is Jessica. I said, hey Jessica, it's Becky. Because I'm in there all the time. I told her what I needed and I was going to email her the file and I wanted their email address. And I said, how long is that going to take and everything? She goes, oh, I'll have it done for you when you get here. Awesome. So I ran into HEB, got some champagne. Because, you know, New Year's. Then I went over next door to the UPS store and got my directions. And then I got a couple of gifts from you guys. Y'all are so sweet. Linda, thank you. Linda likes to craft. She's from North Carolina and she likes to craft and she always sends me these wonderful homemade cards. I think they're just fabulous. I really do. You know, it's just the cutest little thing. It's so nice. She also sent me a couple of little Christmas trees that she made. Thank you. And she also sent me the Quilter's project planner that you can get from So Very Easy. So you really didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. This is, so while I've got a magnetic whiteboard that I will use on my wall in my sewing room, this will go with me and be portable and make sure I can keep up with stuff. So, you know, I put things in my phone, but I don't know what it is about a paper medium or media, if you will, that it just sticks better in your brain. My phone is good for reminders and I'll put it in there just so I have it. But this is better. You can have fabric swatches and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, you can draw, and not that I draw much, but you never know what's going to come out. So that was very nice. Linda, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And then Carrie from Kansas. I love this stuff. This is great. She sent me, not the scissors, I was checking it out, a scissor cozy. I'll put my Kai scissors in there. A scissor cozy, beautiful peach fabric. You know I love the peach and the green. This is just gorgeous. Thank you. And a rotary cutter cozy. How nice is this? And she said the buttons are from her mom's. They're vintage buttons from her mother's sewing box. That is so thoughtful. Thank you. Gorgeous. And they match perfect. She says she couldn't use all those buttons in 100 years. I love it. This is great. Thank you. She said that the rotary cutter case comes from First Light Designs. If I can find the link to it, oh, it's right here. I will go ahead and link to this too. It's a free pattern. I will share this with all of you as well. So, Carrie, thank you. That was very thoughtful. I appreciate that. I am doing the row along, sew by row, from Lori Holt, and I wanted you to see, okay, I've had the scissors done. That was the first month, and I've got my pin cushions done now too. I'm glad to have that done. I'm sure the next month is going to come in anytime now. All right, you guys, that's it. That's all I had to talk to you about. I hope everyone has a happy and safe new year. And my husband's still out there cutting down things. So we'll talk to you soon. Go sew something. Bye.